Support for Radio Friends comes from Rose Heart Hypnotherapy, serving Central Missouri since 2007. They specialize in pain management, pre- and post-medical procedures, fears, phobias, and increasing performance and success in every area of life. Athletes needing sports hypnosis to improve their ability will be pleased to know that Rose Heart Hypnotherapy specializes in neurofeedback and is the only certified OptiBrain train and golf practitioner in Missouri. Call Rose Heart Hypnotherapy at 888-604-9997 or visit mohyp.com and experience true success. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, August the 17th. Our first Poet Laureate for the state of Missouri, Walter Bargen, is with us. Good to have you here, Walter.
Always great to be here, Paul.
And Walter, but you're going to talk about migratory. You're going to read a story about migratory birds today?
Well, I'm going to read a poem about the migratory bird count, which I participated in with a couple of friends who invited me to go along with them. And though I do try to accentuate the humorous aspect to it, it's really an important activity, because the way in which scientists are attempting to attempting to track bird populations is by all of these bird counts that happen with people participating.
Which are important.
Because right now, the estimate is there's 1 billion fewer birds on the North American continent than there were in 1970.
1 billion fewer?
1 billion fewer birds. And, you know, if the climate keeps changing so dramatically, it's going to be a lot fewer than that.
Mm. And once something a species is extinct, it's gone. It's gone forever.
Generally speaking, that's true. Every once in a while, you know, a small population will be found somewhere that's unexpected, but generally speaking, yes.
Well, we're getting kind of heavy here. Actually, the reason I brought up the migratory, I knew you were going to do the poem on that, but I said because you had been migrating. You just got back from Europe, but Walter, whenever Walter has something happen to him, it's always in the biggest, almost most outlandish way. Now, you got stopped. Was it in Munich or Frankfurt?
Shall I tell the story?
That may delete one of your poems, but go ahead and tell the story.
That's fine. So I fly from Kansas City to Seattle because I'm going to be traveling with my daughter, and she lives in Seattle. I get to Seattle at midnight on a Thursday, and I'm standing there at the carousel waiting for my luggage, and the luggage is not there. You know, I have one large bag. And I'm going, wait a minute, all my clothes, all I've got is what I have on. I have no toiletries. I have none of the presents that I was going to, give to people. Mm-hmm. And I'm just, what am I going to do? So the next morning, my daughter and I go out and we buy some things so I'm not standing naked in the Munich airport. And we're on the way to the airport, and the airline calls up and says, my bag is waiting for me at the airport. And so what am I going to do? I end up having to drag around twice as much as I had planned to take with me. Well, we get on the plane, and when we land in Frankfurt, I discover that my camera's missing. What happened to my camera? One of many things that begins to happen. I lose both of my little pocket Swiss Army knives to TSA because I forgot to
take them out.
Yes,
right.
And then we have to go through TSA again in Frankfurt, where they swab my little backpack and they stick the swab in a machine and it registers explosives. So I'm instantly surrounded by 3 machine gun toting guards as I stand there, and they start asking me questions. Is there anything dangerous in there? And, of course I say, no, would you like me to empty it out? And they go, oh no. Is there anything that pointed in there that could hurt me? And I go, no, there's nothing in there. So after this long delay, I get to go on. I end up having to go through all of this again. I have to go through passport control, get in the wrong line, have to get in the next line, and then I have to run to the gate where I just barely make it before they close the gate and get on the plane to fly to Munich.
But you did make it.
I did make it,
Okay.
but that was the easy part.
Coming back was the hard part.
Coming back was the hard part. I have to get up. We have to leave at.
We only got 3 minutes left here, Walter.
That's okay.
No, wait. You got to get.
Okay.
You flew back in the middle of a kindergarten class, right?
Sat on the tarmac for 2 hours waiting for a plane to show up because the one we were on, engine was leaking. Get to Manchester, find out that we have to go through all of this again and end up riding amid a dozen 2 to 7 year olds who are just having fun and at the same time disturbed by the whole experience.
Screaming and hollering 9 hours across the Atlantic back to the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Walter is here today to talk about migratory birds.
Yes, I'm done. I'm done with migrating. Okay.
All right.
So this is a migratory bird count. It's for Bill and Michael, and it begins with an epigraph from Gerald Manley Hopkins. And thrush through the echoing timber does so rinse and ring the ear. I've gotten up far too early. Early beyond the last firefly's flickering luminescence, beyond a horned owl falling into the deep well of its voice, leaving me with its echo outlining silence, and the few surviving whippoorwills, at least the solitary singer outside my window, where once there were dozens caffeinating the night with their stories. It has lost its voice, grown tired or despondent attempting to call forth a mate. There the three of us sit on a gravel road in a bruise of light in an SUV. Not enough coffee, but enough binoculars of varying quality to go around. We could be any set of famous flunky trios, the Musketeers, the Marx Brothers, the Stooges, or just the three monkeys, see no, speak no, hear no, and maybe a ghostly fourth, no. We attempt to identify bird songs without seeing anything in particular, other than a smear, a blur, a twittering slur. From the back seat I say, "What was that?" My companions look at me as if I'm suffering from an auditory hallucination. Next time I repeat, "What was that?" I raise an index finger as if I'm pointing their ears at the trilling somewhere in the leaves. The driver with the bird call app on his smartphone shrugs his shoulders. There are too many birds to scroll through and says, "I don't know." The man in the passenger seat, who moments earlier said hearing aids are in my future, says, "I didn't hear anything." And so it goes through the morning. Me pointing at nothing in particular, my swashbuckling companions hearing nothing in particular, and all of us seeing even less than anything in particular.
Okay. All right. Walter Bargen, it's always a pleasure visiting with you and chatting with you before and after the segment. Thank you for sharing your little trip of horror.
At least the flying part. The rest was beautiful.
Good. All right, Walter
beautiful.
Bargen, our first poet laureate for the state of Missouri. Your books are available on Amazon and at Blue Dog.
Yellow Dog.
Yellow Dog.
And Barnes & Noble.
And Barnes & Noble and on Amazon.
And yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. If there's something you would like to hear or see, I would love to hear from you. If you'll just drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. See you then.